So there is this persona about like classic, watches and dealers that deal in vintage watches. You just can't go see them if you're a rookie because they'll just rip you apart, right?
Well, I do believe so because we're pretty transparent, which is rather unique in our line of work. Not
Right.
necessarily on modern watches because contemporary pieces, don't get me wrong, I love them too.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It is what you get.
Right.
But when a watch has aged 40 years, 50 years, there's a difference in one watch to another. So, we're here with Mr. Watchsociety, also known as my good friend Rida.
Pleasure meeting you.
So good to have you here.
Always,
Welcome in Amsterdam. It's been a year since you've visited for the last time, right?
So my memory tells me it's a little bit over that, but I'd go with yours. So
Really?
I'd say
Well, I think it's around a year.
Yeah, it's around a year.
We
Yo, the man himself.
Mr.
AKA
Watchsociety.
Jasper in the building. Good to see you, bro.
Happy to have you, man.
All
I'm
good?
sorry I'm in this outfit.
Yeah, no worries. It's cool. You still look good, man.
I still had the surgery and I'm still recovering.
Oh man, wishing you a fast recovery.
Thank you, man.
Sorry to hear, bro.
But the sweater is my man Terry Couturier Hekenunk.
I
You
caught
like
that.
it? Patek
Yeah,
Plomo?
this is, and now you got the whole match, huh?
There we go.
That's
let's,
the way
let's
to
grab
do
a
it.
coffee first. I'm a little bit hungover.
I heard about your rumors for like the coffee to pick from here.
Well,
I mean, I don't know how true that is.
I think
but-
you'll like it.
Okay. Okay, let's do that. Bro, I'm wearing a jacket this summer. It's unbelievable.
Well, this is as warm as it gets. For us, this is
do you mean?
called Dubai weather.
This is Dubai weather.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Bro, this is unbelievable.
When it ain't raining, it's Dubai weather. Therefore, we're always on the bike when it's sunny.
Yo, I would do this weather, man. Like I said,
Well, I take
This
your
is-
weather though. Last time you were
No,
here,
you know what?
it was,
I
it
don't
was a
think-
year ago. and
I don't
it
think
was-
you're sure about that. I think you want to take that back because that's like 700 degrees Celsius,
Well,
man.
never mind then.
Yeah,
But last
so-
time you were here, it was way colder and it was raining.
Yeah.
So at least today it's sunny.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man.
Hop on the
absolute-
bike, man.
Let's go.
We're gonna go to this.
We're gonna take a. Jasper, good seeing you always.
Happy to see you, man.
The man to go to, like, so there is this persona about like classic, watches and dealers that deal in vintage watches. You just can't go see them if you're a rookie because they'll just rip you apart, right?
Well, I think.
With you, it's different.
Well, I do believe so because we're pretty transparent, which is rather unique in our line of work. Not
Right.
necessarily on modern watches because contemporary pieces, don't get me wrong, I love them too.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It is what you get.
Right.
But when a watch has aged 40 years, 50 years, there's a difference in one watch to another.
But then you get a different, what I'm saying is you get a different buyer mindset altogether because the guy that is looking for the 40, 50 years old watch knows his shit. It's as simple as that. But if I have just transitioned from, say, into your high craze that we live through, and then jump into the classic and suddenly tell myself one day, I want to go learn about a 6'2", 6'3", or something like that, I would fear going to a vintage dealer because they would proper grill you.
Well, you have to know your shit, or what's even better, and it's something we say all the time, but it's buy the seller.
Right.
So when you go to a reputable guy, and it's also a good thing, just like with new watches, to build a relationship with somebody, with a dealer who can supply you with the watches that you want, who you can trust with, who you
100%.
can talk about with passion, because a lot of sellers out there today are just in it for the buck. They don't take care of their clients in a long-term strategy.
Yeah.
Just they want to make a quick buck. I'd rather make 11 times 1,000 euros than 1
100%.
times 10K and I
100%.
rip you off,
It well said, because that could have been the investment gone to our, you need that continuity, that engagement, right? So before and after a purchase and leading up to another purchase, you're right, you buy the seller. That's very, very important. Right?
And every time you look at your watch, you also remind the buying experience. And I believe that if you are buying the seller in the way that you hated the guts of the guy,
Yeah.
every time you look at your watch, you're gonna be like, it's a nice watch, but the seller was a jackass.
This is a nightmare, absolutely.
Right.
Speaking of looking at your watch, what is that? What is this you've got on the wrist, this special Daydate? Tell me
It
about
ain't too bad. I love Daydates because there's a lot of variety in them.
Yeah.
This is reference 18148, which is a factory set bezel of diamonds and sapphires, which is pretty unique. You don't see that too often.
Right.
Therefore, also the special reference. There is one with a variety of stones.
Yeah.
So either diamonds or sapphires or emeralds or rubies or a combination of those.
Yeah.
And this is a pretty solid piece. The condition is great. The lugs are sharp. The bracelet is virtually stretch-free.
Yeah.
And the dial is a blue dial diamond set, which is also pretty awesome.
That is amazing. That is a 5-digit Daydate. And you've got basically factory sets of gems as well on it, as well as diamonds, right?
Yeah. And that's what I love with the Daydates.
amazing.
There's so much variety we found in those Daydates. When you have a sub date or sub no date contemporary watch with a sapphire crystal, it is a Submariner.
Yeah.
And there aren't that many flavors. With a Daydate, there are 100 variations within bezels, within dials, within hands, within finishes on the bracelet and the bezel.
Yeah.
Everything, man. That's what I love.
I mean,
about
honestly,
Daydate.
this is really worth it. Like, don't even look further into the moderns. Like, if it's a long life single watch that you look at and brings you joy, it should be a 5-digit reference Daydate. It should be in solid rose gold. The 70s, 80s vibe, but in the same time, like, this is the playful element, like all these diamonds on it, right? So that's
How about your thoughts on gem settings on watches?
So if it's after market, no, I have not even messed with that. I don't think I will ever will.
Don't?
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, I'm not my taste, to be honest. But if it's factory,
I have an interesting factory set
then it
over
depends.
here. Tell me what you think about this. Both Centerlink as well as dial, as well as the bezel, are fully set with diamonds, pave set.
Oh, wow.
How about that for a Nautilus? 3800-105.
Yeah. That's a 35 mm?
It's a 37.
This is a 37?
Yes, sir. You're into different sizes.
Yeah.
More contemporary watches are larger.
Yeah.
So this is the mid-size. This is a gentleman's watch.
Right. This is a gentleman's watch.
For sure, man.
Yeah, because it's a 37 case size. Wow. I mean,
this is similar to the case size of the Daydate, only it's thinner, and of course the integrated bracelet makes it look a little bit more elegant, perhaps. But fully paved set diamonds, everything factory. Don't get me wrong here. The quarter markers are set with sapphires.
Right.
And it's a pretty cool piece. And I've sold this one before, a couple years ago. Then I really fucked up.
Yeah.
I sold it back then for like 33K.
Wow.
And this one is going now today at 135.
Something like that. That's what I would have thought. But this is amazing. And out of a first glance, I would have genuinely thought it's a 35 mm. Maybe it sits on my wrist. Maybe my wrist is swelling today. I'm not really sure. But generally, this is really cool. And I think the interesting part as well is that it's factory set, because that makes all the difference in the world. When you look at this and you appreciate it, you're thinking to yourself, hey, Patek put this together.
There you go.
So that's the way to go about it. Speaking of Patek, I've got one on the wrist today.
Man, the 611-8?
6119.
6119. Yeah, you're right. 6119.
30-255 caliber. And you know what? It was a shock also to a lot of the people around me. And the reason being is that, if you follow Watchsociety, if you guys been watching the channel, you would come to know that everything had been strictly sport watches, or maybe watches that's to do with, today. Nothing really voices out the vintage. I feel like this ticks that box. It's the marry between vintage and modern. The hobnail pattern as well on the Clos de Paris, the updated movement.
I love the Clos de Paris bezels. They're so elegant.
Yeah.
And I think it's a staple for Patek too. The Calatrava should have this bezel.
And let me give you the fresh perspective, because I'm not an expert, right? I'm not someone who sat on a ridiculous amount of classic watches. This is actually my first strictly no-nonsense classic watch, and I had to make sure it's a Trinity piece. So when I got the call for it, so basically the big news was that the green Nautilus came out and everything else was discontinued. But somewhere between those lines, this guy came out last year. So I immediately placed my name against it, and I said, you know what, why am I even ordering this watch? But when I looked at the case thinness,
it's so subtle. It's beautiful, ain't it?
And on a leather strap.
How about just the finishing overall? I love the Calatrava cross on the crown.
Yeah.
If you loop that, you can truly see what's Patek in this watch. And if you set it against a Nautilus, of course, it's a hype watch. It's a watch that's high in demand.
Yeah.
But the difference in finishing on both the case as well as the dial, as the printing, as the movement, this is just a watch that is truly magnificent.
I put myself in the Trinity, and I said, okay, if we're talking strictly classics, right? Would it be a traditional 38 mm from Vacheron, for example, black dial, blue dial, also with the second hands at 6 o'clock? or domed up, that's just 38, this is 39 and flatter? Or would it be something like a Calatrava? The transitional pieces had closed case back, so you can't really appreciate the movement from 2016, I believe, or maybe even earlier than that.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now they have opened the Calatrava, so this standardization had changed, right? So I said to myself, this would be it. This had been on the wrist since I got it. I've not worn a single watch.
When did you get it? A couple months ago, right?
No,
a month ago.
Like just shy of a month now. And dressing it up, dressing it down. I look at this watch and I start thinking, you know what? This is now really my segue into classic watches.
And this is your first really like dress watch, classic piece.
100%.
And so far you've been enjoying it, right?
Yeah. So because it's just easy, man. It's super easy, and I like the fact that it doesn't get noticed. If you know Patek, then you know the hubnodal pattern, obviously. So you would point it out.
If you know, sure.
Yeah, but then apart from that, it's just you feel like the hype is here, and you're like somewhere there watching it.
But you do also have manual wound watches in your collection, besides from this one.
No.
Only automatic pieces.
and then that's the other part. So when it said manual winding, I was like, am I gonna remember this every day? But then something about doing this, right, and bringing it close to your ears, and when you hear the teeth on this gear, man, they sound so fresh. I don't know if this is going to last the same way. I don't know if that's
if it's properly maintained.
But
the thing is, it's actually very soothing, and it's a moment you have alone with your watch every morning or every couple of days.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the beginning are a little bit set back for the manual winding, the labor of it.
Yeah.
Let's say labor. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's next doors. Don't worry.
No
it's
worries.
in the shop.
Okay, I thought it was a fire. I thought it was
No. Don't worry about it. But I actually love winding my watches. I have a beautiful example over here that I love to show you.
Yeah.
Which is also a Patek.
Yeah.
Manual wound watch. This is a 3970.
Oh shit. Okay.
So it is. You thought it was a 5004?
It's something like that.
Well, unfortunately, it isn't, because I don't have the funds for that in my private collection. I do, actually. I'm very rich.
He's a baller, this guy. Like, I swear.
Just kidding. No, I just love. I just love the 3970.
Yeah.
It's a manual wind watch too. You can see the movement. It's a Le Mani Baggio. That has been finished.
Can we get this? Are you able to see this?
Of course, we will.
Okay.
We will B-roll it in.
Yo.
And this is a perpetual calendar, Patekphilippe.
You know, this is you jumping out mainstream and say, hey, Langa, it's Lemania based, but we got cities too.
Yeah, right?
Like, I
That's
swear. Like, even if you look at a Langa 1, like, this is amazing. And I love the way they played with depth, because it's all layered, right?
It's a landscape in there, man.
It really, it truly is. And this is a 37.5?
Yeah, so it's 36-ish.
Okay.
So similar size. All my watches are around 36, because that's my sweet spot.
Yeah.
But the case is slightly thicker due to the complexity of the movement and all the complications that are in there, because it's a chronograph in combination with a perpetual calendar.
That's
which
ridiculous.
Isn't necessarily a grand complication, but to many it's been considered a grand complication.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty cool watch, and it's very easy to wear.
Yeah.
Mainly due to the size, of course, and compared to the predecessor, before you had 2499 and 1518. Those watches are pretty similar in design. Yet they demand a crazy premium. It's like 10 times the price of this watch. This is a 100K watch.
So this branches out from the family of the 5960s, obviously, right? Because that was what would have been considered Patekphilippe's first annual calendar.
Correct.
Yeah. But here there is a twist, because you get a moon phase as well on this one, right? So
and a perpetual calendar.
And a perpetual, so it doesn't even get more complex than that. But you know what?
I like the 5960.
Yeah.
But
white dial, black dial, or platinum. Or any.
To be honest, I like any of them.
Okay.
But I would not wear them due to the size of the case, slightly too big. And I love the on the 5960. What I do like is the varieties they have in the dial, which is harder to find in a 3970, for example.
Right.
9 out of 10 are just this plain white dial.
Right.
So there are less variants. There are very rare examples with different numerals or different dials. But the 5960 is a watch that is, for me, a little bit harder to wear.
Harder to wear due to the size.
Due to the size.
Okay, so for me, to be honest with you, like, I look at this and I appreciate the pushers, I appreciate the complication, I appreciate this is pre-Patek, fully in-house assembly. But then I look at it from the perspective that if I were, this is like the vintage watch collector connoisseur watch.
Yeah, I feel
right. For me, I would have to have something next to it to appreciate this fully, because obviously with something like that, you know, you're not talking about like if I look at this on your wrist, I'll be thinking, what else do you have at home? You know, because it just can't be alone type of thing. You know, like that's
This
like
is not
against
your first
science,
watch.
and you don't want to be the guy against science. Like that. That's not it. But then, but yeah, this is amazing, man. And the leather strap, the green leather strap, is originally what it came in, because those were the funky days back, you know, where they had.
Well, you could order it probably, but this is a bracelet that is made by Camille Fournet, who actually produces bracelets for Patek.
Yeah.
But I like the lining to be also from croc strap.
Yeah.
So you have both croc on the outside
really
as well
cool.
on the inside.
That's very nice.
And dark green is my favorite color.
So, and I keep saying the king of vintage watches, like this guy can dig it back all the way to where, you know, they built the stones, man. Like I swear to God, I don't know how you do it. What if? Oh my God. Okay.
I'm done.
I
want to show you just this one.
I can't.
We were talking about high pieces, and of course it's 50th anniversary of the Royal Oak.
I'll take this one out, so that's for sure. Like, we're not talking about the original.
The original 5402.
No.
So this is the first example with the AP down. AP down was only on A, B, and the first part of the C series, so only the early examples. But this watch is even crazier. Why? Because it's called a intermediate series. So this series is between the A and the B series, and it doesn't have a serial. So that's like 10 pieces that came without a serial, and this is one of those 10. I'm
not even listening right now because, like, I swear, I don't know if I can do this video. I'm just right now.
It's pretty cool, huh?
I'm going through the. I'm trying to accept this.
And the dial's tropical, which is pretty nice too.
I feel like Genta himself just handed me the watch. I swear to God, that's what I feel like. This is the original. I mean, look at the patina on the dial as well.
I know.
Like, am I seeing this right, or is that just a reflection?
No, this is the tropical dial. So the small tapisserie tends to change over time, the color. Also in combination, the lacquer reacts to the slightly radioactive tritium. So therefore it turns brownish.
Wow. Did you know that this is the first... I mean, you know that. I don't know why I was talking to your camera guy for a second, but
tell the camera guy. He knows jack shit about watches.
But like, okay, I don't want to, you know what I mean? Because I panic and then I have to mortgage my kidneys, and, you know. But honestly, this is amazing. This is the one that started it all, right? So we speak of the segment that's to do with luxury sport watches. This was it right here. This is the reference. I mean, I can't believe someone kept it in this pristine condition to this date.
Exactly, it's pretty sharp still.
Yeah.
And as you said, it's one of the most important historical pieces regarding sports watches combined with luxury style.
I mean, I don't know, like, what's the price for something like that?
200K-ish, 210, 220K.
We're talking about like...
But that is pre-auction, so the auction is going to hit in a couple months.
Right.
50th anniversary of the Royal Oak, both Philips as well as Sotheby's are doing an auction. Yeah. And I guess after that, the prices are going to be even crazier.
This is like, I mean, I don't know. Wow. That's, I don't even know what to say. Like, just don't sell it. Keep it. Like, seriously, don't sell it. This is your own watch collection, right?
Yeah, it is. But it tends to vary a lot. That's the thing.
Switching.
Yeah, I have a couple watches that are really my own. For example, I'm going to show you. It's a pretty regular watch, but I like to show you because it's mine.
Okay.
This is a Rolex Explorer 1016.
Okay.
With a cool matte dial. No, matte dial, so slightly later.
Okay.
It's nice, but this is in my private collection. It will always stay there.
Yeah.
Because it was taken from me at gunpoint, and I got it back. So now this feels really like this is my watch.
Wow.
Because I had to take a lot of hassle to get it back and stuff like that.
Whoa.
So
glad you're safe and you got your watch back, man.
Don't worry about me, man. Don't worry about me.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, you know. So when I have a personal attachment, a story to the watch, it's really emotional. Then I keep the watches. I don't have that with this piece. I do enjoy that at the moment.
Yeah.
But with this watch, I don't give a fuck what the price is. You know, if you offer me 10 times the market price, I'm gonna tell you it's my watch.
So I put this on the wrist right now, and size is not even the factor anymore. You know, it's not. It's the dial, it's the numerals. It's the print of the numerals actually, because they're not placed, they're printed.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's tritium applied to the dial.
Yeah.
Which is pretty.
This is insane.
Common for the period of Rolex really cool. And sports models. So back then they didn't have yet the applied numerals or applied markers.
Our markers, yeah. And I like the leather you've put on it. It's like it's
our own.
Segue here.
It's our own strap.
You know where to buy it? Amsterdam Vintage Watches. Link in the description.
Well, actually, we don't sell those. We don't sell straps, man.
Right.
We just give them out to clients and stuff.
Bro, that's
but they're very subtle. They're very subtle, so it's nice to wear.
Wow. That's like, forget your Beamer, I'll just give you a free one. That's amazing. This is beautiful.
Do you ever wear any of your Rolex watches on leather or never?
So I had tried to switch up the leather on my 116500 LN Panda Dial Daytona, and then I realized that there is something here horribly wrong. And this is the time where I said, okay, I'm pro-choice, because you're not supposed to put that on a leather strap. it should be, I should have been anti-consequences and got something like, you know, put it on maybe an older reference, a 509 something of some sort. Yeah. Then that would probably make more sense. I have leather that came with the 4500V Vacheron. I've got a thick-ass Vacheron, actually. It's a 4500V.
I saw it on your Instagram account.
Yeah, it's a yellow gold. Yeah, so that came with a leather strap. But then again, there you're talking about flash in your face. That is Trinity. That is, of course, you know, the peak of quality. But when I look at something like that, it's a completely different ball game, because here not only the historical value, but outside of that also the fact that you can just wear it, do all with it type of watch. That's what it feels like. Even though, how old is it? You know, like. So
at this point, it's over 50 years old.
Yeah. And tell me something, Jasper. So what is the local community throughout your years here basically carrying this legacy and leading it to becoming really one of the world's largest vintage and pre-owned luxury dealers? What is the community for vintage watches here in Holland? I mean, like, what's the appetite?
Well, you're way too kind over here. Thank you very much, though.
Or was I supposed to say?
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Well, we got talking previously about this subject too. Yeah. And what we've created here is like, we want to really, you know, help our clientele in a great way, and therefore we started doing less watches, but let's say higher watches, better watches, whatever, costlier watches. So we have more time to spend with our clientele. Right. And at this point, 80% of our income consists of purchases from regular clients. Right. So we have a good client base, let's say 20 to 25 people that purchase most of our watches, that come over to our lounge here to drink, to eat, to do everything on a regular basis. We talk to them on a daily basis, you know. So that is for us very important, to have these relationships in the long term too. Yeah. And it's beneficial for both parties.
It's like you said earlier, you buy the seller, but I think the continuity aspect there is that you're in a business where you're only dealing with hardcore watch connoisseurs that appreciate the historical value. So you need to introduce that incremental value to them even after purchasing a watch, because guess what? He's going to be your customer selling it or buying something else from you.
Exactly.
So that is okay. I hear you, and this is how you warm basically the local ecosystem as well, to learn about vintage watches.
Yeah, and of course local. The thing is, with Instagram, it's so easy to branch out internationally. So I think even half of our income is from outside of the Netherlands. Right. At least half of our income. Right. And then also a lot of people, Dutch people living abroad, that purchase a lot of our watches. So. Yeah,
that's really cool. I am very curious to see what else you got in the box. I've peeked, I saw a Daytona. I'm not sure if I got the right one there, but that's not a 6239 or...
No, actually, I do have that too. Okay. But I picked this one up. Probably you're not that big into football, right?
No.
Because you're from Dubai, and
I mean, they're like pretty shit people over like there football, but
in football,
but I.
But this watch is from one of the most important soccer players from the Italian history. It's from Roberto Baggio. Oh wow! And it's his personal Daytona. Now, first of all, a Daytona is one of the most important watches in history of Italy. They are the ones that made the Paul Newman Daytonas, etc. Made that a fashion, made that hot, made that demanded because of the Italians. And that is the Zenith Daytona, so 16520 from the early 90s, owned by this football player. And that's what I wanted to discuss about, because of course you're into more modern watches, where you have the box and the papers. On vintage watches, that's not that much of importance. Sure. But what is of importance of a watch like this is its provenance. And that is that you can prove this watch was actually owned by Roberto Baggio. Right. And we have, besides all the pictures of him wearing it, with this specific configuration, we have a signed letter confirming that this is Roberto Baggio's piece. Wow. So that is for me very cool. So you have the history in the watch, the history in the model, but also the history from the first and previous owner, which is also pretty cool. Sure. And that all captured into one Rolex Daytona.
That is amazing. So we're talking here Zenith movement.
Yes.
I thought initially it was going to be a Patrizzi dial.
Unfortunately,
yeah,
I have a Patrizzi
peeked,
too, but
yeah,
this is a regular dial.
No, yeah, but the provenance, as you said, is what adds
Yeah.
to that value as well. This is amazing. And today this is available at Amsterdam Vintage Watches, right? So someone
Yeah.
can come and buy this watch.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
There's a premium though
Yeah,
on the
sure.
on the provenance.
Yeah.
So regular price for a watch like this in current market is like 40K.
Yeah.
38-ish. This is almost double.
Yeah, no, of course, and it makes a lot of sense why as well. This is amazing. This is really beautiful. Okay.
It's a pretty cool piece to tell people about, you
Yeah.
know. And now I want to know your opinion on a specific watch that I have here.
Okay.
I'm very curious to hear what
My
you
opinion.
think of this. Yeah. Because of course we
Sounds
talked about
2020.
of course we talked about the Holy Trinity and everything.
Right.
But I have a Audemars Piguet here that is very, very uncommon.
Okay.
And I'm curious to hear your thoughts because a lot of people don't like this model specifically for its design.
Yeah.
You just go ahead.
I've never in my entire life seen this before. This is a perpetual calendar.
Yes, sir. Perpetual calendar and world time. So it consists of more time zones.
Yeah. This is
It's-
AP.
Yeah, it's AP. It's made of platinum. It's a very cool case in my opinion, but
Yeah.
what I really fucking love
Yeah.
are the numerals.
Yeah, no, of course. At 10, 2, 4, and 8.
So weird. And the way the font, everything, it's just very odd.
It's like a hybrid between Frank Mueller, Vacheron, and AP.
Exactly.
All in one, you know, so this...
You can be honest. If you dislike it, you can tell me you dislike it.
you know what? So those circular case. So I'm picking up I'm understanding now that trends are cyclical, right? In the sense that a couple of days ago I was just walking down in Hofstraat, I think you call it,
Yeah,
in
Peter
Amsterdam,
Hofstraat.
and I've seen the Langes. I was telling you about them, and they're circular cases, and they're domed up, and you know they're heavy. They feel like they're in your wrist.
Yeah.
But and I'm like, that must have come from somewhere. And I see now the resemblance of the case itself, except that this, of course, is in platinum and it's got 3 different complications on it. Honestly, I would never guess, not even from this up close,
That it's an AP.
at all.
Okay, and
If you didn't tell me,
let me tell you this.
I would not know.
We're talking about a world time function, a perpetual calendar, platinum case
Yeah.
from Audemars Piguet.
Yeah.
Take those 4 factors into account.
Yeah.
What would you
For
guess
price?
the price tag would be?
From what year is this?
Regardless of the
Regardless
year.
of the year?
If somebody would mention those 4 things,
I would think over 300,000 euros.
right?
Immediately.
So if you would
Like,
buy
I don't
it
care if
today,
it's an offshore.
there
it
you
would be
go.
that much.
The price of a watch like this is 40,000 euros.
Wow. Wow.
So that's what it is, you know, compared to the hype of, for example,
Yeah.
Steel 5711, which is used an awfully lot for a hype watch,
yeah.
as an example. But that watch goes for 200,000 euros, which is, you can buy 10 of those,
Yeah.
okay, 5 of those.
No, this is epic.
But
This
that's
is-
crazy, right?
It really is, and I'm just trying to think about, you know, because this is a specific taste, right?
That's true.
So, like, I'm trying to think
An
about...
acquired taste.
Yeah, and a very, very acquired taste where you want your 2s opposite to your 8s, you know? I'm just kidding.
It's a
But-
strange piece.
Yeah, it is, but it's cool, yeah? It's cool in the sense that, you know, only you know what it is, and aesthetically it's pleasing, right? So when I look at the dial, I look at the, I don't know if this is white gold or platinum hour markers.
Platinum.
It's platinum, okay, there you go.
Well, there's a lot going on, but it's
It
still
is.
somewhat in balance, in my opinion.
It is. I feel because they're elevated, even with the reflection, I can immediately see the 2, 4, 8, 10. Maybe this font would take me a second because there's like proper calligraphy here.
Yeah, that's true.
But
That's
but
true.
but yeah, no, this is amazing. This is really cool. So
Pretty
today,
cool, and it's automatic even.
yeah, yeah,
So it's a pretty cool movement. It's a
Yeah.
pretty cool watch. The design is unique,
Yeah.
not up to everybody's taste,
Yeah.
but that's what I like.
that's amazing. This is really cool. And you know what, platinum. I feel like platinum is gonna go back again to where people appreciate classic watches and platinum. I'm seeing this.
From materials, what has your preference?
So it used to be steel for the longest time up until I realized the contrast of rose gold is the one for me. So
Yeah, but also on your skin it's nicer because I'm a
I
little
just
bit
said
pinkish.
it in a way without
you know?
mentioning my skin, but then you had to.
Well, I'm jealous because
Yeah.
on my pink
Yeah.
skin it
Yeah.
looks stupid. Not
Yeah,
stupid,
no, not
but
stupid,
it
but
looks
like,
hard to pull off.
You're just saying my skin color is sexier.
Well, in some cases it
Okay.
might be. In a pink gold case it might
I'll
be.
accept that. It's
But
fine.
I'll take platinum then.
Yeah. No, but honestly, I'll tell you what. Like for me, Audemars Piguet did this very well. I'll tell you why. Because if you look at something like a 192, or not a 192, it's actually 132.013.1 Lango 1, yeah, in platinum case, you'll see that they've applied the rule of the third there.
Yeah.
But what's happening is that, you know, the case is plain.
True.
Because the end of the season, the hour markers, everything is so small. Yeah, it's loomed, so that's playful. I can see it at night. But then at the end, there's a lot of real estate, right?
Yeah.
On a platinum case. So I feel like if the case is not going to shout like rose gold, right? Then this is when you're permitted to keep it as plain as possible. But if you're going to go for, say, a white material, like whether it be platinum or white gold, you want a little bit of busier dial because I guess that's the balance for it. I don't know why I see
Makes
it that
sense.
way.
No, for sure. I feel you.
Yeah.
And also there's a variety in case finishing because you have the bezel that is high polished and the rest is sand blasted.
Yeah,
the sides.
absolutely. Exactly.
So it gives a little bit
You feel
more
like
depth to the case.
Yeah, 100%. No, it feels special in this presentation and this form factor with the polished cases as well. The edges around the cases that somehow lights up the ring on top of the case as well. So
exactly.
So that makes a lot of sense. I like it. It's a really cool watch. It's a very dope watch actually. Yeah.
Happy to hear, man.
So can you remind me again? What's the reference?
Reference of this watch is. I need to fucking look.
Yeah.
That is a disgrace.
You can take this part out later.
Yeah.
So,
the reference of this watch.
the reference is I don't fucking know.
919 PT.
It will go. People will just be like, yeah, okay.
Okay,
That was the PT. How do you know? I saw it on Jasper's video.
No, it's a dope watch and it's something else besides your regular bread and butter APs with the Rolex, etc.
And then it's just amazing to think at that point in time, I don't know if this is how originally it came, that Audemars Piguet had thought about a strap that they can mount to an AP clasp. Because at that time, this was innovation, clasp innovation. This was, you know what, let me get the logo in there as well too, as opposed to a pin and buckle. So I guess in its time, until date, somehow this level of details, this combination still lives through. I still think it's relevant today. Yeah. And that's amazing, you know, to be able to see through all of that.
Tell me one thing, Reda. What watch are you eyeing right now to purchase in the near future?
Like from across the board, everything?
Any brand, any material, any price range.
Okay.
What's going to be your next purchase?
I am genuinely contemplating a Lango 1 moon phase. My alternative to that would be a 5212 weekly calendar from Patekphilippe.
Yeah.
These are the two that I feel like if I can get.
But the 5212 is pretty hard to get, right?
It's right now it's more difficult. Yeah, it's more difficult. Like, so the idea is that when they came out, you know, it was like, all right, okay, we'll think about it. You know, it's not like asking for an Nautilus, but right now it's a mountain to climb, and those ADs are, I mean, bless them, of course, they're in the business of supply chain, but at the same time, they're over there butchering our legs and knees for, you know, what is thought of to be a little bit much more accessible watch. So I have woke up to the classics via this guy, and then I said, if I want to stick to this.
But the 5212 is also quite classic.
It is.
Although it is a little bit.
It has a function.
Yeah. It has the weekly calendar.
Exactly.
It's a little bit more.
And then the font.
The font is
it's
crazy.
It's the fun part, right?
Of course, it's
like,
super quirky.
So I like that because I'm not so used to be. If you would have asked me this question last year, I would have said, yeah, you know, I'll get a steel Daytona and maybe like something else that is also a sport model. But in this mindset, in those two brackets that say I want to rock a super classic one and a less classic, more fun one, but also in the leather straps or the combination. So for me, it would be pointless to get the Lango 1 without the moon phase. Hence this.
Yeah.
It make a lot of sense to go into a 5212, for example.
I'd go for it. I love them.
No shadow of a doubt.
They had quite some backlash in the beginning because of the font and the dial design and everything. Yeah. But I genuinely, straight away after the release, it got my attention.
100%.
And it's my favorite pick for. I think it was released 2020 or 2019.
Till 2000 and it came out in 2019, man.
Yeah,
2019.
So it was my favorite from that year as a release.
Yeah,
I actually really liked it.
And my second one would be a perpetual calendar ultra thin from Vacheron. from Vacheron, so white gold skeleton or blue dial skeleton, something like that if I want to go that extra peak. But generally it's the 5212 that I would want to add right next to this guy, because I feel like these are the watches that kind of kick you, nudge you a little bit, say, hey, let's mature a little bit, you know, like there is better stuff out there.
Cool.
I mean, Patekphilippe here said nothing but time.
Yeah.
Like there is nothing you can do with it. So like literally every time you pick this watch and look at it, you're just looking at the time. That's what you're doing, you know.
But that's the beauty of the
it.
simplicity.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right?
Simplicity is rich, but then you flip it to the back and then you go like, all right,
There's
okay,
a lot
I don't
to
even
see.
know what I'm looking at, but I know I'm looking at something
It's
special.
as beautiful from the
Yes.
inside as it is from the
Yes.
outside.
The-
And so are you.
Thank you so much. And I'm just like, this is the part where I blush.
Thank you so much for doing this video with
Thank
me.
you.
Of course, you're ever so welcome in both our lounge, where we have the hotel room, which he declined to stay in. I
Yeah.
don't know why you're afraid of Amsterdam.
I was
or-
going to say right now, are you kicking me out? There's a video done.
No, please.
Camera guy?
Done.
Cut.
No, thank you very much. Seriously.
I feel like this cut part should be like the end of the video. You know? Like cut.
But then I can't say that your guys have to follow me
Yeah.
and my guys have to follow you.
Please check out Amsterdam Vintage Watches, and there's a second channel for Jasper, which is
KOV, the KOV channel. That's for the English people.
Exactly.
So you have to check that out too. And of course, Watchsociety is the name. Reda is a guy that can tell you all about the current market, his taste, his emotions behind the watches. I love those videos, man.
Thank you
it's
so
so
much.
genuine because he actually takes you along his journey.
Yeah.
That I really love. It's not that much set up, you know.
Yeah.
It comes off as real
Just
genuine.
be easy, let it roll off the tongue.
Yeah.
That's the idea, you know. So I'm vocal about my learnings, I'm vocal about my mistakes, but I absolutely appreciate the quality, the knowledge share that you have in your channel, walking us through the vintages, the what's historical and what's amazing. This is something we need in the community. So thank you so much, Jasper, for making it happen again, brother.
Thank you, my
looking
man.
forward to do more content. The coffee was great.
Next
by the way.
time in Dubai.
Yeah,
Because
Dubai. Have to.
like a year ago you were here
Yeah.
and we said next video is going to be
I'll
in
set you
Dubai.
up in a hotel there too.
Thank you.
Yeah, 100%. And you got to tell me when can I get one of? I mean, I don't know where you did this. But I
One
gotta
of
do
those
this.
camera guys or
No,
the,
I mean the frame.
You like it?
Yeah, man. That's
I'll send one
what
over.
gone into your head.
I'll
when
send
you said,
one over.
When you said
Please don't go to this subject now.
Okay, but did you print it out or is this
No,
like
it's a
painted?
present, bro. It's painted.
It's actually
It's
painted.
hand painted by a genuine artist.
Did you have to wait, like sit down the whole time?
No, it's a client that he brought me this painting. He
Wow.
painted it
You
out
didn't
of
have
his
to be
head.
there.
No, I didn't request
I don't
it.
envision you like sitting by the window in Switzerland
It's
by the fountain.
It doesn't exist. He
Okay.
made it from his imagination,
Wow.
which is pretty spooky to hear now.
That is kind of
his imagination
it's
is
a bit
about
creepy,
me,
man,
but
right? Like I mean, look at the details too, man. Wow.
let's stay to watches. instead
Yeah,
of
let's say
art.
into it.